Hi guys, good morning. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Welcome back to my channel. You're tuned in to the Rose family channel. I'm the beautiful Rose. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There's something stuck in here with me, like little flies type thing. Forgot that the AC was on. Yeah guys, this morning I would like to touch on some stuff that's I've been feeling like ever since the whole thing with what's going on with the UK with the EDL stuff like that. I've just been like, and after the incident I've experienced recently with my neighbors. But you know, I just want to start off by saying, you know, which is what I put on my TikTok, guys. My TikTok is the Rose, no, always coming up with the V. Rose family is the same as my YouTube, guys. If you're trying to find me, I'm on TikTok as well. I don't really use it as often, but yeah, I did put up something on my TikTok, just sharing how I'm feeling. Because you know, sometimes your spirit, you know, you feel strong in yourself, and you know exactly what's going on, and other times you feel not as strong. So what I wanted to declare, I haven't seen anything, you know, mind you, I haven't been leaving my house. I never was one to be up and down. If you guys know me, and you can kind of depict that I'm not all over the place, you know. I very rarely go out and stuff like that. But I just want to point out that I haven't seen any EDL people or any activities like that, or heard any activities like that happening in Cornwall. I just want to point that out, where I live, where I reside. But obviously persons watch news, so sometimes when behaviors are displayed, you don't know where it's coming from. And I also wanted to touch on the topic that, you know, I always try my best to make it very clear what I say to people, because, you know, I'm a child of God, and that's who I believe in, that's who I follow. But I'm no means perfect, and I don't want to be portraying like a perfect situation, because when they started on me, even though I can see clearly it's like the enemy moving, my words wasn't biblical, in terms of like, I wasn't saying I rebuke you in Jesus' name. I wasn't, none of those things was coming to my thoughts. I could see the movements, but none of them was coming to my thoughts, as, you know, to say, even though I'm seeing what's happened. And I'm still working on that, guys, in terms of like, instead of using derogatory word or words of the world, try remember my Bible and who I'm representing and who I'm following and who I'm living my life for, and the words I should be equipped to say to them. That's, I'm not at that level yet, guys. It's always like afterwards I'm thinking, you know, Rose, why did you have to go low? You know, they're going low, why do you have to meet them down there, kind of thing. But you know, if I'm not at the level, I'm not at the level. And I think, you know, in a way, like, compared to the things I could have said, saying the B word and saying fat, and I don't really have anything against fat people, I'd like to point out, because I'm not exactly slim myself. So you see, what curse words don't have a good word. So I don't want anyone thinking as well that I'm discriminating, because, but guys, you can see me this morning repping my Jamaican t-shirt. You know what I mean? Like, those who know, my Jamaican people know, curse in our background, in our, how I'm brought up, it ain't got good words. And there's, I tell you, I am one of the person that they have a terminology. If I cuss you, drunker, eat, come down out of the sky and eat you, run out if I cuss you the right way. So I have come a long way, because I could have took it to them real bad. Do you know what I mean? I have come a long way, but I'm still not at the level to be using the scriptures. I'm close, but I'm still, you know, and I don't want to be forcing it if it's not coming. So the few words that I've exchanged that was derogatory, I'm getting there, because it's something I'm looking into. Even when I had some altercation with the other neighbor, you know, and I told you guys that I said some, you know, I've actually improved from that bit, because that particular neighbor I was angry with. So also like to point out that when I was making my story in regards to what was happening in my vicinity, that where I live, yeah, the person I really went after with the like saying that they were one of the ringleaders, what they're doing, is not the person that I was talking about on my last video. It was another neighbor that I didn't really go into the whole ins and out on what took place in regards to the drugs. I left them out a bit, because that part of it, I don't know who can follow the story. It was surprising to me that that was even happening from that particular neighbor. So, and like I said, I dealt with it with the mom of that family, so I didn't really go down into all of what was going on. But those are the neighbor on my last video that another the issue of me saying something to the child that triggered a whole tsunami of just unnecessary negativity. And I would also like to point out that really and truly, me myself, I don't really have no like hatred in my heart against any of my neighbors. I pray for them even when the scenario was going on. I'm saying scenario, I don't know if that's the right word. I'm using some words. Sometimes, guys, it's a hit or a miss. Like the situation that was happening outside, you know, on my last video, even in the midst of that, one of the little ones saying, Rose, can Angela come out to play? Bless him. You know what I mean? Because children are innocent. They don't know better, like, to say, you know, it's a hostile situation. I don't want to come out, let alone send out Angelo. Do you know what I mean? So, those are the things that come to my thoughts. And I'm just looking at it thinking, you know, if we all could just get on and not feel like we're separated at times, even though I keep myself to myself. But, you know, I'm saying all of this to say, guys, from a godly point of view and a godly perspective, if I was as strong at that time in my faith and spirit, maybe I would have handled the situation different. But like I said, I wasn't strong enough at that time in my faith and my spirit, in terms of like, because I could see what's happening, but because I was watching the whole scenario a bit before and seeing the whole play out of how they were moving, and when they come to my door and buzz it, and I look down, I thought, oh my days, look at here, look what's going on, what you know, everything just turned in my direction. So, and I didn't want to like be acting as if I'm scared, so, because I wasn't scared. So, you know, because there's a lot more, like I said, I could have, if it was like Rose in 10 years ago, or 15, or 20 years ago, may the good Lord help them, because I would have given them a lot of nasty sneers, and I would have said a lot worse and do a lot more. Like, literally, I wouldn't be saying I'm going to chuck water. I'd have probably chucked water. And, but at the end of the day, like now, I've got my children to think about. I've got most of all God to think about, because I know better, and they say those who know better do better. So all these things. So even though I still don't feel like I've operated at my best. I still give God thanks that I'm improving. Do you know what I mean? So, but you know, after all that incident, I'm looking into things. There's time when I'm sending my child to the shop, the eldest one, and he don't want to go out, like, and I don't know what he's seeing on the on his phone, like, you know, because things are all over, like TikTok and stuff like that. I want to say also, YouTubers of the UK, why aren't you guys discussing and talking on the topic of what's happening? Why aren't you talking on and discussing on the topic of what's happening with the EDL and what they're doing? Because I'll give you guys some backstory on that topic that I didn't mention before, because it's a touchy one. What they say that triggered them to be carrying on like this in the UK is 3 young children has lost their life of Caucasian background, and that's what triggered all of what's happening at the moment in the UK in terms of the rioting and against colour, people of colour, and all of the out of control things from like a human eye. That's what happened, you know. Me myself, it's a hard, tough one. I can't capacitate anyone losing their child, especially if you have your child and you've been living with your child for a period of time. You know, I cannot capacitate. So my heart goes out to those families that lost their child, and prayer goes up for them. And, you know, I just wish them all the best and hope that they can get back into a place of really being at peace, regardless of such a terrible, heart-wrenching stuff. But what we are saying as people of colour, when bad stuff happened to us, which happens on different occasions, like black people lose their lives and stuff, we don't take it upon ourselves to think it's, especially if it's Caucasian that done it, that all Caucasians stay like that. So that's the point, to say, you know, how can it be that all of us now have to pay for that situation? And, you know, you have people that born here, like my children, they're born here. So where all of us should go back and all of these things, and it's just a lot. So Shane's coming in the car now, guys, so I'm gonna drop him off to work. So I'll come back to you guys in a little bit. Guys, this Shane popped back in the house to sort himself out a bit more. Yeah, so where was I? For us that came here years ago, I've lived in the UK longer than I've lived anywhere else, you know. Longer than I came here when I was 15, 16. And now, if I'm checking right, I'm in my 50s. Yeah? So you look into that figure. And there's people that's born here. People from the Windrush generation. I'm even part of the Windrush generation. Based on when my aunts and uncles, when the war came and damaged the whole of the UK. And they reached out to the Caribbean people to come and help build back the UK and to what it is. And all the people that in jobs here looking after people. You can't just take the war to everyone, because we don't do that. All we always want is to be looked at the same as how they looked at, but the superiority and the entitlement that they give off, and thinking, oh, black people belong in certain areas, certain parts of the you know what I mean? Like, let's be for real, guys. Look into history, look into things, and do educate yourself. There's so much stuff on YouTube, there's so much stuff on the web. Educate yourself, and don't just see people and see color and not really, you don't know people background. Don't assume, because trust me, yeah, trust me, do not assume, because we've been here for years. And my aunts, those are the first people that are coming into this country. They've been here for years. So when I say I got identity issue, if I want to go back to Jamaica and live, they'll be welcoming me with open arms in that sense. So don't get it twisted when you hear me make my video and mention that Jamaican will be questioned, because yeah, that's how they are. They're going to be questioned to say what's happened, why you're here so long, if you haven't declared that you've moved back. They'd welcome me with open arms. But the point is, when you live somewhere for that long and you have children that's born here and you make a life, and some people in some cases they're born here and they're now old and stuff like that, it's very, very tricky to go and say you're going to relocate, because there's all different obstacles that prevents you from doing that. Some people don't have the money, like myself. I don't have the money. I have a mixed race child. His dad is British. What do you guys suggest? I have this discussion with his dad all the time. Let me take him and let him be there for a while to get that background as well, and for a few, and he's ring down. We have argument all the time about that. It's not like I'm happily, I'm going through stuff myself. My family's going through stuff. My children's going through stuff. We got identity crisis because we see and we know, and it's a daily part of our life, like we're not treated the same. And we have to operate in a certain way. We have to clown ourselves in that sense to survive. We have to adapt a whole new. Those who are out there that knows about code changing. When you're dealing in and moving on in certain circles, even your voice change at times. And when you're speaking, there's so much times we have to literally, there's so much stuff morph into another situation. Even my children that's born here, they have to morph themselves. So much stuff we go through that I haven't pointed out or highlight. Sometimes my son goes to me, Mom, put on that posh voice you use when you're around certain people. And I'm like, which voice is that? But I know exactly what they're saying. There's so much stuff. So I don't particularly, I'll be honest with you. I'm fed up. I've had enough. I've got mental health issues. I've got arthritis. My mood is up and down. I'm a mother of 4 children, of which I grow mostly 3 of them by myself. So much. So I haven't got time for all of this negativity. And I'm changing over my life to God. I haven't got time. And I wish persons would know I am not targeting anyone, but I am going to defend myself if I'm being persecuted. And I hope I get to the level that I can speak from a biblical aspect when I'm being attacked. Instead I'm going low on their worldly level, I go high on a godly aspect. So that's where I'm at. And now I'm actively saying to anyone out there, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. If you can do anything that would help me, subscribe to my channel, thumbs up my video, because they said faith without work is dead. And I'm actively, you will see me on this channel, actively trying to make my channel grow. Actively, because I'm getting persecuted for that as well. So even if I move out of this country, I'll still be talking from a godless perspective and trying to tell people to live better, read their Bible, get closer to God. Try and tell your children how to know about God. You know, it's on YouTube. The other day I said to Angelo, you can tell me all these things about zombie. I said, how come when I tell you to pray, you there struggling sometimes to find the words, and you can list all these things about zombie? And I start telling him, spend more time, as much time at least as you spend on other stuff, getting to know who God is, because that's going to be your help. So like, comment, share and subscribe, guys. Like, comment, share and subscribe. This is going to end the video because Shane's back and I need to drop him where he needs to be. So yeah, so that's my take. That's how I'm feeling. I'm preparing myself that if I have to exit, I'm exiting. I'm not staying here being crucified and all of these things, God forbid. And feeling like I'm singled out. I'm tired of that feeling. I'm tired of feeling like I'm just existing. I ain't really living feeling. So lots of love, guys. Take care, and I shall see you guys in another video. Bye, guys.